In 710, the capital was relocated to Heijo, which is modern-day Nara, marking the beginning of the Nara period. During this time, transportation routes connecting the nation were improved, and international exchange flourished, leading to the development of a cosmopolitan culture known as the Tenpyo culture. The Shosoin, a large elevated warehouse registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is referred to as the terminus of the Silk Road. It still houses imported goods from Persia, India, and Tang China from the Nara period, which have been carefully preserved for over 1,200 years. However, during this period, the system established during the Taika reforms of the Asuka period began to falter, and political power struggles caused turmoil within the court. The reasons for moving the capital to Heijo are varied. It is thought that the growing scale of national administration necessitated a larger capital, and a grand city was needed to demonstrate national power both domestically and internationally. Additionally, frequent famines and epidemics likely influenced the decision. Heijo's location was considered ideal for gathering goods from across the country and for transporting heavy cargo via waterways. Government roads connecting the country were equipped with relay stations every 16 kilometers for the delivery of official documents. Although efforts were made to produce and circulate currency as commerce flourished, it did not gain widespread use among the general population. In 712, the Kojiki, commissioned by Emperor Tenmu, was completed after about 30 years. Later, in 720, the Nihon Shoki was completed. The Kojiki is a domestically focused historical text with strong literary elements written in Man-yoshu, an ancient writing system that uses Chinese characters to represent the Japanese language. The Nihon Shoki, written entirely in classical Chinese, was intended to convey Japan's official history abroad. During this time, the Fujiwara clan, succeeding Fujiwara no Kamatari, who had destroyed the Soga clan in the Asuka period, held significant power in the court. In 724, Emperor Shomu, the 45th emperor, ascended the throne. He was the son of Emperor Monmu and the daughter of Fujiwara no Fuhito. Traditionally, both parents of an emperor were expected to be of imperial lineage. This break in tradition led to opposition from Prince Nagaya, who was forced to commit suicide along with his family due to pressure from the four sons of Fujiwara no Fuhito. These brothers married their sister to Emperor Shomu, making her the first empress from outside the imperial family. However, in 737, an epidemic of smallpox claimed the lives of the four Fujiwara brothers and many high-ranking officials, taking 2 years to subside and resulting in the deaths of 30% of the population. With the epidemic over, Tachibana no Moro, a rival of the Fujiwara clan, rose to power in 740. That year, a rebellion was led by Fujiwara no Hirotsugu, the son of one of the late Fujiwara brothers, but the rebellion was suppressed. Amid the political turmoil, Emperor Shomu began a series of imperial travels. In 741, he issued an edict to establish provincial temples to restore order through Buddhism. In 743, he issued another edict for the construction of the Great Buddha. In 749, he abdicated the throne to his daughter, becoming the first emperor to take monastic vows. This act, symbolizing the emperor kneeling before Buddha, spread the greatness of Buddhism and accelerated its influence, strengthening the power of Buddhist monks. The construction of the Great Buddha was a monumental state project, completed in 752 after 7 years. It was the largest of its kind at the time, and the eye-opening ceremony invited an Indian high-ranking monk, showcasing Japan's development as a leading nation. In 754, a high-ranking monk from Nanjian, Ganjin, arrived in Japan. When Japanese monks requested a teacher of proper Buddhist practice, Ganjin himself decided to travel to Japan after failing to find a willing disciple. Despite failing 5 attempts to sail and losing his eyesight, he persevered and finally arrived in Japan in 754. Until his death in 763, he contributed not only to the ordination of monks, but also shared his knowledge of sculpture and medicinal herbs. Following Emperor Shomu's abdication, Emperor Kokin, the 46th emperor, ascended the throne. However, there were no close relatives who met the criteria to succeed her, leaving the imperial succession uncertain. In 758, Fujiwara no Nakamaro, who had gained influence in the court, persuaded Emperor Kokin to abdicate in favor of Emperor Junin, the 47th emperor, whom Nakamaro could control. Nakamaro expanded the territory in the northeast and even sought to extend influence into Silla. However, his power weakened after the death of Empress Komyo, who had supported him. Emperor Kokin, now free from Empress Komyo's influence, fell in love with a monk named Dokyo, who began meddling in politics. Nakamaro plotted a rebellion but was defeated and eliminated. In 764, Emperor Kokin reascended the throne as Emperor Shotoku, the 48th emperor, creating a new position of law king for Dokyo. Dokyo attempted to claim the throne, causing great unrest, but after Emperor Shotoku's death in 770, he was removed from power. This significant turmoil led to Emperor Konin, the 49th emperor, a member of the imperial lineage with weaker ties to Buddhism, taking the throne. In 781, he abdicated in favor of his son, Emperor Kanmu. To distance the government from the Buddhist influence, the capital was relocated in 784 to Nagaoka, which had better transportation facilities. However, 2 major floods struck, and 11 years later the capital was moved to Heian, modern-day Kyoto, marking the end of the Nara period. For many years, Nagaoka was considered a phantom capital, but archaeological excavations beginning in 1955 revealed its remains, proving it was a city as grand as Heijo. Although modeled after the Tang capital of Chang'an, Nagaoka lacked city walls, suggesting that the area was peaceful and secure. In the late 8th century, the Man-yoshu, collection of over 4,500 waka poems composed by people of various social standings, including emperors, nobles, soldiers, farmers, and courtesans, was compiled. This shows that the appreciation of literary works transcended social ranks. Today, this tradition continues, with civilians who compose outstanding waka being invited to the imperial palace each year, preserving the culture of waka poetry. Lastly, in 768, Kasuga Taisha Shrine was constructed to protect Heijo-kyo and bring prosperity to the people. Founded by Fujiwara Nagate, it enshrines the tutelary deity of the Fujiwara clan. Even today, festivals such as the Kasuga Festival and seasonal rituals continue to be held. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the shrine attracts many tourists from around the world. However, there have recently been increasing reports of tourists mistreating or harming the deer that inhabit the area. These deer, considered sacred messengers of the gods since ancient times, are designated as a protected natural treasure and remain wild animals. I sincerely hope that we can continue to preserve the precious culture that our ancestors have safeguarded throughout Japan's long history.